Welcome to the Sales Lab.
And when I picture a contractor, I picture somebody waking up way too early. There's, I'm going to get my coffee, I'm going to hop in a shower, but their phone's already got messages on it saying, no, there's some problems you need to fix. And they say, well, I'll skip the shower today and let me just take my coffee to go. And then they're in the car and they're going to one job site. But then, something happens. They have to, I need to go to this other job site first. And, very chaotic, very intense, very long hours, very, a lot of complexity to manage. And, probably people who are skilled at a certain trade or doing these sorts of jobs, but not necessarily skilled at running a business and doing accounting and keeping the receipts. And, maybe their floorboard's just full of paper and that's their file drawer. Not because they're, careless, but because it's really hard to do this job. And there's so much chaos, as you said. And to have them, hey, you got a phone, right? Cool. Let's simplify as much as we can, realizing that we're not going to be able to control the weather, but we can reduce the things that we can influence. We'll try to influence, right?
Yeah, it's interesting that, even some of the things that we're looking to add into the system itself and some of the opportunities that we have now that we're part of the Home Depot that just expand that ability to service the customer. Today, if you go into Roof Hub and place an order, that'll come through our system and then we'll deliver it. Now that's based on what other deliveries do we have scheduled, how much equipment do we have, how much demand is in the market and so on, how fast we can turn that around. But normally it's fairly predictable, 24 to 48 hours. But if that won't work for you, if you need it like right now, we're building in options that we actually have internally today called Hotshot Hub. So you can just click the button and say, hey, I need it delivered like right now. So think of it as, Uber with food. It's the same thing with any of the building materials that you would need that we would stock at SRS. And we can use then third-party companies like Uber Freight or Curry or others that will then coordinate. Our team can look at it and say, here's who can get it there the fastest. Here's the costs that are tied to it. You just click which one you want. Now, as a customer, I'll pay for that extra freight because it's extra service, but I know I don't have to leave the job site and the product's coming to me, right? That's something that nobody else has been able to solve for. We've already got it in place, and now we're rolling it out to where not just our team can use it, but our customers will be able to pick those options as well. And then the second part is we've got, for SRS building products, 500 locations nationwide. But what we've worked with Home Depot is we don't want to view it as 500 locations. Home Depot's got 2,300 stores. So combined, we're almost at 3,000 locations that we can use to get our arms around our customer. And nobody in a competitive landscape has anything close to that. So how do we make that easy that there's typically a Home Depot within a mile or two of every job that a customer is going to do across the country? So for the convenience items, the things they need to do to respond quickly, we'll give them that option of how they can buy from us with a Hotshot Hub. They can certainly come, we'll call it from us, but our branch may be 15, 20 miles away. Now they could go to a Home Depot, get what they need, assuming it's product that a Home Depot is going to stock, but there's a lot of stuff that they need to support a job that they can do, kind of the convenience portion of it. We've worked now with integrating our trade credit and giving our contractors, we're piloting this right now, a pro purchase card. So they can go in and buy whatever they need in Home Depot, use the pro purchase card. The Depot store will transact it and they leave with the materials that they need, but the invoice for that goes across from Home Depot over to SRS. It then goes on their SRS trade credit. It's on one invoice that will be on there. They can reconcile everything. So to your point, many times when they send their crews in, they never get those receipts back. It's a reconciliation nightmare and their CPAs hate it. Now we can get consistent pricing across any depot they buy at. They'll be able to reconcile that as they need to. And it's that idea of how do we just make life easier for them to continue to do the work and keep things moving forward in a professional way and use this infrastructure that we now have available that we've never had before. And I think you mentioned your coffee example, right? So, you can have satisfied customers, but that doesn't mean that they're going to be loyal customers, right? Like I can go in somewhere and buy coffee and have a good experience, but if there isn't some sort of connection between me and that company, I just as easily could go buy coffee the next day somewhere else because it's more convenient for me, whatever it may be, right? I just may have happened to point my car in a different direction or whatever it is. To get somebody to go out of their way to go back to that same coffee shop over and over and over again, there's some sort of relationship or connection that happened between the customer and that business in order to make that happen. That's where the loyalty happens. And so for us, when we say it's the service component of it and it's trust, I mean, trust is the foundation of any relationship. That's the sort of relationship we're trying to create with the customer. And we do that right. That's where the magic's at, that they won't even think about picking up the phone and calling somebody else. They're going to call us first and know that we're going to be able to get their back. And now that we take the rest of this infrastructure I mentioned, there's an opportunity. I won't say it makes it easier, but there's an opportunity for us to do that at an even higher level than what we've ever done before. And so we see that's really, again, where the magic's at. And for any distributor, any business for that matter, figuring out how you form that relationship to create that loyalty is really the key. Because we don't sell anything. Very rare that we would sell something as a one-time purchase. The vast majority of our customers, 99.9 of them, We're trying to get back in the door the next day because they're going to continue to need the materials that we are providing.
Constantly
It's not a
working.
one-time. Yep.